Hulk smash! Hulk also clap, snap, and probably gives really firm hugs like a big green weighted blanket. Let's not put him in a box, which he would definitely break out of in a dramatic fashion. Here are 18 other moments where the Hulk went too far and really flexed his muscles. While the rest of us struggle to hold our own lives together, the Hulk can simply hold an entire planet together when the situation calls for it. In The Incredible Hulk number 102, we find the Hulk on the planet Sakaar, where he ends up feeling really, well, at home. He ends up leading a rebellion against the Red King, and in typical bad guy losing everything they own fashion, he activates a massive doomsday-esque device that will rip apart the entire planet of Sakaar. Our incredible pal takes a note from Dikembe Mutombo's book and says, "Not in my house." Hulk then does an Olympic high dive into the planet's core, moves through lava like it's lukewarm bathwater, grabs hold of the tectonic plates of Sakaar with his bare hands, and keeps the entire planet together with nothing but brute strength. I need this type of internal strength when my coffee order gets messed up, since that's enough to make me crumble. Remember back when you were a teenager, and then one day you woke up and you were in your 30s? Now, your back hurts for an entire week if you sleep the wrong way, and hangovers last for 3 days. Wouldn't you love to punch time right in the face? Well, we can all take solace in the fact that the Hulk has done exactly that for us. Messing with time can get messy really quickly, which is something Doc Brown warned us against time and time again. The characters within the Marvel Universe obviously never watched Back to the Future, as messing with time is a plot point for multiple storylines. In this specific case within The Incredible Hulk number 135, we have Kang the Conqueror storyboarding ways to permanently end the Avengers. He decides to travel back in time, which is unsuccessful due to a pesky time storm, and he is forced to go back to where he started. They say that successful people surround themselves with people who are smarter than they are, and Kang does exactly that by recruiting the Hulk, more so for his strength and less for any intelligence. A little promise to rid the Hulk of Bruce Banner sends Hulk into the time storm fist first, where he knocks time out cold and successfully makes it to the past. Mike Tyson says that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and that holds true for time as well. It wasn't long ago when the Hulk snapped back our reality. Oh, undid the catastrophe. Oh, there goes Banner, he's stoked. That's how the song goes, right? We all know that undoing the demise of half the population was no simple task, as the original task that wiped out 50% of everything left a very powerful Titan limping and permanently scarred. Bruce felt like he had a hint of destiny when it came to snapping the makeshift Infinity Gauntlet, since the gamma readings were off the charts. He even said so himself. He was made for this. Despite having a wounded arm, he was still able to join the fight to finally end the Mad Titan and his quest for the Infinity Stones. Thanos may have had MMA-style hand-to-hand combat training based on his fistfight with the Hulk, but he obviously lacks the pure strength Hulk has, since he did not look ready to fight after he did his snap. When an unstoppable force is given a clear task and direction, there isn't much that can't be accomplished. That force can even reverse their own little oopsies if it needs to. Jump to The Incredible Hulk number 202, where Hulk disposes of a couple of baddies in order to protect his former love, Jarella, by hitting the ground so hard that it causes an earthquake. But have no fear, Hulk is just going to put those tectonic plates back together like it never happened, and all will be okay. He doesn't even need any glue. The internal structure of a planet is obviously no mystery to the Worldbreaker, but how many planets does he have to piece together in order to be named the World Fixer? On the other side of my proposed World Fixer coin is obviously the aforementioned nickname, the Worldbreaker, and he didn't earn that moniker without, well, breaking a world or two. One of those worlds was almost the entire eastern seaboard of the United States. Long story short, the Hulk was launched into space, lands on Sakaar, finds love even though he can't love himself, classic, tragically loses love, beats on the people he blames for this tragedy, learns he was betrayed, and his anger reaches critical mass and with one single step breaks apart New York City. That's a lot to unpack, but fortunately for a hefty portion of the US, he did not stomp 2 more times, or else we'd have a new continent floating in the Atlantic Ocean. Hopefully, the Hulk doesn't have any plans to join any dance crews anytime soon. The Hulk and his enemies are quite familiar with the clap. His sonic clap is a common combat maneuver and is most recently shown in She-Hulk. But how powerful can smacking your hands together truly be? The answer could make you question your reality. In The Incredible Hulk number 126, the seams of reality were ripped apart when Bruce was forced to transform to protect an innocent bystander in a battle he was having with Nightcrawler. You see, some crazy cultist sent the Hulk to another dimension to fight Nightcrawler, but Bruce did not want to rise to the occasion. It wasn't until a cultist defied the cult leader and was thrown into the battle in the middle of the confrontation that the Green Goliath finally emerged and unleashed a cosmic clap that would tear apart the cosmos that they are residing in. That's quite the standing ovation. Whenever someone is upset, the worst thing you can usually say to them is, "Calm down. Thanks, super helpful. Haven't thought of that." When the Hulk is upset, some of his friends try to beat him into submission instead, and it rarely works out for them. Take Wolverine, for example. The nimble, adamantium-filled, claw-wielding X-Men with powerful healing capabilities was quite literally torn in half in the miniseries titled Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk. Oh man, what a bloody, violent mess that fight was. The series pulls a Tarantino and shows you a Wolverine with half his body completely missing, and then takes us back to the events leading up to that moment. Adamantium is supposed to be an indestructible metal, and the Hulk separated Wolverine's spine from his hips like he was ripping wet toilet paper. Thor and Hulk have a heated rivalry that goes back all the way to 1963, and we have seen some fun scuffles on the big screen. It all started with a small quip in Avengers number 2 from Thor regarding Hulk's appearance. He called him grotesque, to which Hulk replies that he will boot him up to Asgard for good. That's a pretty solid comeback. After that, we see the two go at it like rivaled siblings for various reasons that include an inflated ego, being tricked into fighting each other, or all the times that the Hulk was manipulated or brainwashed into raging towards his friends, and Thor had no choice but to whack his teammate with his hammer. Hopefully, we can get an even longer dispute up on the big screen. I don't know about you, but I'd watch an entire movie about it. When Hulk isn't fighting other superheroes, he turns his attention toward the bad guys, obviously. Onslaught is no different, but this dude was not a walk in the park for the rest of our mighty heroes. The Avengers, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men threw everything they had at Onslaught, and it wasn't even close to being enough. You see, for those who don't know, Onslaught is Charles Xavier's subconscious merged with Magneto's darker aspects, and has both of their powers at his disposal. But wait, there's more! He also has the combined powers of Nate Gray, an Omega-level mutant, and Franklin Richards, a powerful reality warper. This dude was so powerful that the Hulk had to ask Jean Grey to completely cut the tether that connects Bruce Banner to the Hulk. The Worldbreaker knew that he needed to attack Onslaught without an ounce of humanity within him, and he was absolutely right. He hit Onslaught so hard that his armor shatters, and a massive psionic wave was unleashed that separated Bruce and Hulk into two separate people. There are several quotes and idioms about moving mountains, which can mean anything from working extremely hard or attempting to do something impossible. Fortunately for us, and a plethora of our favorite heroes, the Hulk did not know that these sayings were expressions not meant to be taken literally. In issue number 4 of Secret Wars, Molecule Man dropped an entire mountain on everyone in this story arc, and Hulk just caught it and held it, long enough for Mr. Fantastic to come up with a plan to get everyone to safety. This scene was retold in 2015 as a tribute to the original one from the 80s. That's how bonkers this feat of strength is, a complete and entire mountain range on the back of the Jade Giant. That takes lifting things up and putting them down to a whole new level. Has an older sibling or cousin taken your hands and had you hit yourself in the face? They could never knock you out, but they were basically making you beat yourself up. That's totally normal, right? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is the Hulk was forced to overpower himself in Defenders number 8 while searching for his missing teammate, Silver Surfer. Kree forces trap Doctor Strange, Namor the Submarine, and Hulk inside a weapon called the Star Wheel that is powered by none other than the imprisoned Silver Surfer. Each hero is locked inside an energy bubble that reflects any attempt to escape back at the hero. The endless rage that fuels our giant friend causes him to punch his bubble cell repeatedly until it rips apart and the Star Wheel finds itself destroyed due to the backlash of Hulk's stubbornness. Most of our examples we have discussed so far are deep dives into the comic book backstory of the Incredible Hulk, but let's take another step into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are few moments more satisfying than playing a video game and beating a boss or enemy on the first attempt, or just laying waste to them with one move. When used as a verb, both can be referred to as one-shotting the enemy. When we learn Bruce's secret during the Battle of New York in the first Avengers film, he one-shots a Chitauri Leviathan in spectacular fashion. Spoiler alert, his secret is that he was always angry, and then BAM! Punches this massive creature square in the face, which kills it and completely upends it. That's a chill-inducing moment even after all these years. We all saw that movie about the asteroid hurling towards Earth, and we have no real plan for how to prevent it from wiping out our planet and all of us. Well, didn't they know we can just launch the very real and not fictional Hulk at said asteroid? It's the obvious real-world solution, and that's what happens in Marvel Comics Presents number 52. Hulk, in his much weaker Grey Hulk persona, straps on a jetpack, flies up to this asteroid that is threatening Earth, and breaks it into a million pieces. It is estimated that the asteroid was twice the size of Earth, and given that the Hulk was rocking his much weaker identity, that makes this accomplishment even more impressive. This was basically a calm walk in the park on a cool fall day for the Hulk. Keeping on the topic of space, this next unbelievable achievement involves the beautiful twinkling lights in the sky. That's right, stars. Stars are, according to people much smarter than myself, unfathomably heavy. We are talking ranges from octillions to decillions of tons. Those words mean nothing to me other than extremely heavy. When you have a character as strong as the Hulk, you have to get creative in order to challenge that strength. In comes Proxima Midnight, who wields a spear that can channel the weight of a star. A normal person would have been turned into paste, but Hulk doesn't even completely fall down. He holds the weight up while on his knees and then stands back up. Did you know the Hulk has a son? Scar is the son of Bruce and the Shadow Queen Kyra, and that combination makes him devastatingly powerful. With the ability to siphon an entire planet's power and unleash that power through his fists, it's safe to say that no one would want to be on the receiving end of a friendly fist bump, let alone an attack meant to do harm. Take 1 part blaming your dad for the destruction of your home planet, 2 parts abandonment issues, and 3 parts abilities granted by the old power, and you get one 100 trillion ton punch right in the sternum of the Incredible Hulk. Scar's punch sent the Hulk flying to another state, but he just stands back up, completely unfazed. Sure, we saw Thor reignite a star in order to relight the forge that created Stormbreaker, but it nearly killed him in the process. The Hulk did something similar, except it didn't almost kill him, and he wasn't even angry at the time. At a time when one of the most powerful Celestials known as Exitar was approaching Earth to squash it like a bug, our Green Avenger was forced to work with Dr. Doom to protect the planet. You see, Dr. Doom knows that you can't rule the world if there is no world left to rule, and created a machine that can put a protective barrier around the entire planet. Unfortunately, that requires a ton of power, and there's only one person that could help. Can you guess who? If you didn't guess the Incredible Hulk, then you haven't been paying attention. The Hulk steps up to the occasion, and without any external stimuli, he was able to power the machine and protected Earth from being stepped on by Exitar. No big deal or anything. Does gamma radiation count as a PED in the sports world? If not, the Incredible Hulk has discus toss, long jump, and the standing long jump in the bag. He would also place gold in the monster tossing category. Never heard of it? Well, in 2008, the Hulk threw a 20-ton dragon named Fin Fang Foom to the moon. That's 238,900 miles. After that, the Olympic Committee decided to retire monster tossing, since everyone else will forever be competing for silver. We saved the most incredible feat of the Incredible Hulk for last, and that is without a shadow of a doubt, his pants. Are they ultimate maternity pants with the never-ending stretch feature? Where does he buy them? The Beyond section at Bed Bath & Beyond? I need a pair for every Thanksgiving. Maybe he makes them himself using web from Spider-Man. Now that's a theory I can get behind for how the Hulk keeps his behind covered during hulking moments. The Incredible Hulk's strength is, for lack of an adjective that hasn't already been taken, incredible. Sure, he might completely lose it sometimes and take things too far, and other times he has no choice but to completely unleash on his enemies. We love you, Hulk, and we hope you can stop torturing yourself, but not before you just lose it one more time on screen. We would love to see you toss a god around like a rag doll again, for old time's sake.